see what it says. Yes, I did learn more about NinjaTrader as well. That's great. I thought so too, but changed my time interval. Then I saw movement. Okay, let's see. I could not get my chart to work. However, learned just a little more about using NinjaTrader. Watched last night. Awesome. Well, it's definitely going to be a learning curve, similar to a foreign language. It doesn't happen overnight, but if you continue with it, as I suggested, spending an hour a day with your charts is going to do a world of good for you. You will find that you will spend more time studying than you actually spend trading, because studying is where the skill is crafted and where it is honed so that you can perform once you get to the charts. Like beginning today with all this technical analysis stuff, this is so my zone. So, never mind me if I get too excited, but I love charts. It's so my thing. After you get the hang of it, you get your strategy that works for you, your setup that you prefer to use. It's amazing. I refer to trading as dancing and a partner, and you're making sure you're dancing on beat with the chart and the tools that you prefer to use, whether it's your indicators, your moving averages, and your candles. Everybody's dancing on beat, to the sound of the same tone. And you'll throughout the course of this challenge, you'll learn more about what I refer to as dancing on beat, because I'll use that adage quite a few times throughout the next couple of days. With that said, allow me to share my screen with you. Okay, so day one, we went through what is day trading, why the futures market, downloaded the platform. Day two was fundamental analysis. And that takes us to day three, which is technical analysis. Type a 7 in the chat box if you are ready to begin. Okay, I am seeing some sevens, more sevens. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Yesterday's homework was to, for those of you who had not downloaded the charts, you went ahead and downloaded your charts. And then, and then you practice looking at the fundamentals that we discussed and studied on yesterday. So you spend some time on those. And then you also watch either a live or a replay chart. And then I ask you to explain in 3 sentences patterns that you noticed on the chart as you were studying them on yesterday during your homework. Let's take a couple minutes to discuss your observations and your findings. What did you see? What did you find? Did anything stick out to you? Someone, you can go ahead and unmute and or type in the chat box. What were your findings? What did you observe as you were studying the charts on yesterday?
Hey there, Kentisa, it's Angelique. How are you?
Amazing, Angelique. How are you?
I'm doing amazing as well. I went to the control panel like you showed us, and then I clicked on connections, but I never was able to create a chart. So I did something wrong.
Okay, did you try reaching out to NinjaTrader to make sure everything was set up properly?
I just got an error. Are we supposed to pay for something?
Well, there is a 2-week free version. Check with NinjaTrader to make sure that you have everything downloaded properly. You can email them through the
Okay.
control center itself, but you definitely want to see moving candles going across your chart. So you can actually do that right now. Hopefully they respond to you within the next few minutes. They are very good about responding.
Okay.
So try to reach out to them right now and make sure your charts are live. Now,
but I did set up my time from 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That'll be the time I study and trade each day.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. And then, also for the next few days, for what I'm looking at, China and Japan are having Labor Day, and then tomorrow, May 4th, the 30-year mortgage rates or something are going to come out in the USA, and then jobless claims on the 5th. So that's what I was able to accomplish yesterday.
Great, great. So you're definitely skilled. You're an expert in finding fundamental analysis right now. So you have that nailed down. Now we're going to get this technical analysis nailed down. You're going to combine the two components and then you are ready. Anyone else? One more person would like to share their findings?
Marissa here.
Hi, Marissa.
Today, right before class, I looked at the ES, so I looked around from 6:03 to 6:13. I didn't really notice any patterns. Literally for the first 5 minutes, it went up, and then the last 5 minutes, it went down. So, I don't know.
So you saw an uptrend and then it was a quick reversal to a downtrend. Is that what you noticed?
Right.
Okay,
Right.
great.
So that's what I wrote. For the first 5 minutes, it went up and then.
Okay, good, good. Excellent observations. That's definitely the type of things that I'm wanting you all to be able to take note of and realize when those things are taking place. Actually, I want you to get to the point where you can realize that the reversal and or the retracement is going to happen before it actually happens. And there are some steps that you can take, some things that you can study to see when it's about to happen, see the onset of a reversal happening. So great, great, great.
Like I'm assuming we're learning that today because I was like, I don't know if I have any support system time for markets. I don't know how to do that yet.
I can't understand you too well. It sounds a little like the connection is going in and out. So I didn't understand you too well, Marissa.
Oh, that's okay. I think we're going to talk today anyway.
Oh, okay, okay. So this takes us to day 3. Technical analysis. What exactly is technical analysis? Technical analysis is a trading discipline employed to evaluate investments and identify trading opportunities and price trends and patterns seen on charts. Technical analysts believe past trading activity and price changes of a security can be valuable indicators of the security's future price movement. So in short, the market tends to repeat what it did, a few hours or 1 hour prior. So you will find, we'll get into a few things to show that the market repeats itself. Some of it is more predictable than other times. But again, once you learn your strategy and your setup, that's what you'll utilize, predictions and high probabilities of certain things happening. And that's what you will trade. These are the most popular, the key terms that you will hear when it comes to technical analysis, like moving averages, support and resistance, bullish candle patterns, bearish candle patterns, neutral candle patterns, and indicators. So these are the most popular terms associated with technical analysis. Although there are quite a few more, but these are the ones that you will hear for the most part. If you understand these, then you are doing very well. Moving averages. What does a moving average look like? How is it used on a chart? And all that good stuff. Well, let's take a look at a chart. Going to change screens here. Type a 3 in the chat box if you are able to see my chart. Okay, great, I'm seeing 3s. All right, so here we have a chart. It's a live chart because the market is in fact open. Remember, it reopens at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the evening trading. To add a moving average, I would go up to my indicators tab. I'm going to go ahead and add an exponential moving average. So I scroll down to EMA, click on EMA. Under configured, I want to click add, and then I want to state the period of moving average that I'm interested in working with, or one that I want to use to trade with. At this time, we'll use the 8 moving average. The 8 moving average is the period, the average of either 8 candles and or 8 days. You know, different charts have different periods of time. What you're looking at right now is a 3-minute chart. I'm going to apply this 8 moving average to the 3-minute chart by clicking apply and then click OK. So this yellow wavy line, that is a moving average. So that's what a moving average looks like. And if we were going to trade using the moving average, as you can see, let me change this. As you can see, the candles, when they are closing above this moving average, it's trending up. So as long as your candles are closing above the moving average, this 8 moving average, you can see they're moving up. But look what happens when it begins to close underneath this moving average. What happens? The trend changes to down. So this is key. This is very key. If it's closing above this moving average, it's trending up, okay? Once it starts close below this 8 moving average, it starts to trend down. Then we can look again. It's closing above this moving average, it's trending up, so we would be buying it. And then we would take caution. Once it goes below that moving average, we would most likely want to get out of the trade because it's begin to trend down. Okay, so take a look at this candle. Closes above this moving average, and then they continue to close above that moving average, and they continue to trend up. And then look, it closes below this 8 moving average, and look, this is actually a sideways trend. And then once it gets above this 8 moving average, it starts trending up again. So I want you to remember that. So that is a moving average. Okay, let's move back to the other screen for a moment. And moving averages, you can use whatever period you decide. Most likely, for the most part, people do use multiple moving averages, When I use moving averages on my chart, I use the 8, 20, 50, as well as a 200. The 200 tends to be the strongest in showing the direction of the trend. When the candles are trending above the 200, it's most likely an uptrend. When the candles are trending below the 200, oftentimes the market is preparing to or is already moving in a downtrend. Support. What is support? Support is found when, I'm gonna move, we'll move back to the other. We're gonna go from side to side tonight, so hang in there with me. Okay, let me show you what support is. When a candle is trending down to the moving average, and if it bounces up, that means that it found support and continued to move up. Let's find one. Let's say, see how this came and met this moving average? It found support and then it continued up. Let's find another one. All of these candles, they found support at this moving average and they continue to trend above this moving average. Now, this one broke through the 8 moving average. So that means that it did not find support. It continued through, it broke through the support. Now let me show you another form of support. You can also find your support on a chart by multiple candles trending down to the same location. So if you can see where my crosshairs are, see these 2 candles here, go across to these 2 here. That is another form of support because they trended down to the same location, found support and bounced up. You can predict that the same is going to happen once candles trend down to that same location, which in fact it did, and then it pushed up. So here is also support. And when you're trading live during the course of the day, oftentimes what someone will do is to take a horizontal line and right here where the market found support, it would place a line there because they would expect for it to happen again. And when it does come to this line and find support, you can buy it from here. Just buy it up. So that's another way of finding support. Play around with your charts. These things you can add them, take them, press delete, and it comes right off. All right, so that's support. Any questions on support? Does everyone understand? Type a 1 in the chat box if you understand, type a 2 in the chat box if you do not understand support. I am seeing ones. 1/2, okay. Well, we'll get there with the 1/2. So that's support. Resistance. How do we find resistance? Now, resistance is when the candles are trending up and the moving average or some other indicator stops it and it stopped trending up. So if it's trending up and something stops it, it has found resistance. That's why I have the up arrow, because it has to be trending up to find resistance. Now let's go back to the chart. So taking a look at the chart again, we can see that my arrow, it was trending up, trending up, trending up, trending up. Then once it got here, it found resistance because it began to trend down. It reversed. Okay, so let's look again. It was trending up, trending up, trending up, trending up. Here, it found resistance and started to trend down. trending up, trending up, trending up, trending up, found resistance, and begin to trend down. Now let's find, grab my crosshairs. Because similar to finding support where multiple candles trended down to, resistance is at a location where multiple candles trend up and begin to trend down from that location. For instance, let's do this. Let's find quite a few. So you can see how it trended up to here, found resistance and trended down. Trended up to here, found resistance, trended down. Trended up to here, resistance, trended down here. So what I would do is I could take my horizontal line again and find the places where multiple candles found resistance. Like, let's say here, multiple candles found resistance there. And then I'm going to expect that, since it happened here, I would expect that it possibly would find resistance here in this area and trend down, in which it did. And then in this area right here, find resistance and trend down, in which it did. Look, in this area, found resistance and trended down, which it did, and so forth. So that's resistance. Type a 1 in the chat box if you understand resistance. Type a 2 if you do not understand resistance. Ones, awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so we will keep it moving. We're going to keep it moving. Candlestick patterns. Some refer to these as Japanese candlesticks. Some refer to them as candles. You will hear the names used interchangeably depending on who you're having a conversation with as to what they refer to them as. But those are the little figures that scroll across the chart. They actually tell a story. And if you look at the different patterns, you will learn what they are telling you. They're actually telling you the direction in which they're planning to move. So this candle pattern is a bullish engulfing. When you see this, the market is most likely going to trend up. So it would be okay to buy it. It's a high probability buy if you see this pattern. Bullish engulfing, you can remember it by the small bearish being engulfed by a big green candle. So that's bullish engulfing. The candles that are trending up, the green candles are referred to as bullish and the red candles are referred to as bearish. So to help you to recognize the candle pattern. So bearish engulfing, a small green candle, and then a huge red candle that engulfs it. It's both taller, higher than, and both lower than, that's bearish engulfing. So you can feel comfortable selling it when you see that pattern. And then the hammer. This is my favorite candle pattern to trade because you can see what it does. It was trending down from the red candles. That's an indication that it was in a downtrend. And what happens is it rejects the price down here and then it pushes up. And from here, there's a high probability that it's gonna just continue up. So this is a hammer. This is also a hammer pattern. So trending down, red means it's trending down, and then it found resistance because no one wanted to buy at that price, and then it pushed up and continued trending up. Here is a morning star. You can feel comfortable buying when you see this pattern. So it's trending down, and then it creates this small doji here, and then that's followed by a bullish candle pattern. You can feel comfortable buying. This is a morning star. Here, dark cloud cover. So it was trending up, and then a downtrend starts, but you can see of the dark cloud, the bearish part is higher than the bullish area where this candle was trending up where it ended, but it continued up further before it began its downtrend. And that's referred to as a dark cloud. And it closed below halfway of the candle. So that is key as well. It closing at least halfway or below halfway of the previous candle. So you can feel comfortable selling when you recognize this candle pattern. Shooting star. Shooting star, how you can remember it is it looks like the inverted hammer. Some people actually refer to this as an inverted hammer. Some people refer to it as shooting star. But what happens is the market is trending up, as you can see from this green candle. And then it finds resistance up here, rejects that price. No one wants to pay that much for it. And it sends it back down into an inverted hammer, which some refer to as a shooting star. And you can feel comfortable selling from here. All right, hanging man. Hanging man is, the market is trending up further, and then it goes no further. So it finds resistance here, creates this hammer. Now you want to know the difference between a hammer and a hanging man. As you can see with the hammer, a hammer is when the price is rejected from the bottom and it pushes it up. But here with the hanging man, it almost makes like a double top from there. And then there's a rejection of the price. So it's very close in proximity to the previous candle. And then it begins to trend down. Rising man. Okay, rising man, it was in a downtrend. It went down a little further, but then it found the resistance down there. No one wanted, no sellers, no more sellers down there. So it began to trend up. And this rising man, and when you see this candle pattern, you can feel comfortable buying. So this one, we would look to buy this candle pattern. We would look to sell a hammer. We would look to buy a morning star. We would look to buy dark cloud cover. We would look to sell shooting star. We would look to sell hanging man. We would look to sell, and rising man we would look to buy. So keep in mind these few things. Bullish patterns, we buy, it's trending up. Bearish patterns, we sell, it's trending down. Neutral patterns, we wait to find out what the market is going to do. Excuse me. You're gonna find that patience is going to be your best friend. So we wait. Now, what I would like to do is to take, let's take about 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 minutes and try and pick out and identify at least one of these candle patterns. Choose one of these candle patterns, the one that hops out to you. Which one do you think that you would like to trade? As I shared with you, I like to trade the hammer. That's my candle pattern. So from these patterns that are listed here, these are the most popular ones. If you can recognize these and be very familiar with these, you are going to do very well. So take about 30 seconds, select one of these candle patterns. I'll give you about 30 seconds to select one, try and get it in your head, and then we are going to take a couple minutes and locate that candle pattern on a chart. Once you have selected one of the candle patterns, please type a number 1 in the chat box. And then we'll, okay, I am beginning to see some number ones. All right, great. So I am going to share the moving chart right now. Make it a tad bit larger for you. And we'll take a couple minutes and attempt to identify your candle pattern. What I can do is I'll scroll back a few hours and allow you to try and find your candle pattern. If you have your charts pulled up, you can also try and locate them on your chart as well. You're attempting to identify the selected candle pattern. And one thing also to note is that flush to the right, that's where you will see the candles forming. I'll get rid of this resistance line.
Cantisa, is that the neutral point to the right where you just wait, where it's kind of like just going straight, not too much up or down movement?
When it's neutral and trending sideways, yes, I wait. Are you asking me if that's what's happening right here?
Yes.
Yes, it is trending sideways. When the market opens at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, oftentimes there is not a lot of huge swings. It's not really trending so much at the 6 to 6:30 and sometimes 7:30 point. But once it reaches 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the evenings, it begins to trend a whole lot better, higher swings, and as well as lower swings. So this is very normal for, the 6 to 7-ish time period, but around 8 p.m., 8:15, it trends a whole lot better. That's a great question.
Did you say that this is live? Is it just not doing anything right now?
It is live, it is moving. Yeah, just that
okay.
during this time period, there isn't a whole lot of moving, but it is moving. Pay
Okay.
attention, flush right to see the new candles forming. You see how they are closing below the 8 moving average. Remember when I said as long as it's closing below the 8 moving average, it's in a downtrend.
Yes.
So can you see these candles forming and moving down?
A little bit. I think maybe I need to make my screen larger. I do see it. Oh, yeah, I see.
How about now?
I see it more now, yes.
Okay.
I think because I have my chat box open, maybe it was making the screen small. Oh, I don't know
Okay.
how to close it. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so type a 1 in the chat box if you were able to find a candle pattern, and then type the candle pattern in the chat box that you found. What did you find? What did you see? 1, great. I'm seeing ones. Awesome, awesome. Which candle patterns did you find? Bullish, okay? Bullish, which one? A bullish what? Rising man. Great, great. A morning star, okay, okay. So we are definitely getting the hang of technical analysis. It's sinking in quickly. I like it, I like it. As a matter of fact, I love it. Did anyone else notice a different candle pattern? Look like a dark cloud cover, okay? All right, good, good. I will stop sharing the chart and move back to the other screen. So candle patterns is definitely something in which you want to invest time studying each day. If you can spend an hour studying your chart each day, it's definitely going to be very beneficial. Indicators, indicators, indicators. Okay, so indicators are statistics used to measure current conditions as well as to forecast financial or economic trends. In the world of investing, indicators typically refer to technical chart patterns deriving from the price, volume, or open interest of a given security. So keeping that in mind, I am going to, we'll switch back to the chart itself. In this box are lots and lots of indicators, okay? Some are more popular than others. If you recall, remember we added the moving average, the 8 exponential moving average. We found it in here and added it to the chart. I need to put my glasses on. So I will show you a few of the indicators. That way you know how they look on a chart, and then you can take an extended amount of time. You can thoroughly go through the box and find different ones that you could possibly want to add to your chart. But these are added to the chart to simplify the process for you, to help you to find the trends, to help you to figure out a better entry as well as a better place to exit a trade. So we use them for direction. We use them to find the value areas of where exactly should I, or what's the highest probability of this trade working out for me if I enter it here, because this indicator is telling me that the market is preparing to move up. This indicator is telling me that the market is going to trend sideways. This indicator is telling me that the market is going to trend down. Those are some ways in which the indicators are helpful. Let me share a few of them with you. The bar timer. And when you click on it, make sure you click add and then click apply. I always use my bar timer because I like to know how many minutes and or seconds are remaining in the candle so that I can, try and determine what I'm going to do next. So another one of my favorites is I oftentimes like to use a swing chart, and I'll add that so that you can see what it looks like. So I click on swing, I click add, click apply, and click OK. What this does is it highlights, it points out the swing highs and the swing lows. I'll grab my arrow for this one. So these are the swing highs and these are the swing lows. And it simplifies trading for me because what it does is, look here, when it no longer makes a higher high, I sell. And then for the low, when it no longer continues to trend lower than the previous one, I buy it. So look at here, when it creates this swing high, as you can notice, this candle does not trend higher than the previous candle, so I sell. So this lends knowledge to the direction of the trend. I'll make it smaller so we can look at a few more swing highs and lows. As you can see, it was trending up, trending up, trending up, trending up. Boom, found resistance, did not trend up any higher, created this inside bearish, and down it went. So it trend down, 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 down. Look, I found support here, did not trend lower, and then up it went. So swing is one indicator that I like to use. Okay, I'll take this one off and remove it and show you another one of my indicators that I like. I like to use pivot points. Pivot points are good because it shows where there were like the previous day where there was action, or where there was a reversal, or where there was a lot of volume, or where something definitely took place, like prominent places from the previous days and the previous hours on the chart. And pivot points are indicated by these lines. Let me show you what they look like. So the blues are, the R, it's resistance, and the S, it's support. So it's showing us where the market previously found support and resistance. And this is what it looks like when this and this. Okay. I want to get to one to show you. So you can see as it was trending up, and when it found resistance at this pivot point, this tells me that there's a high probability that it's going to trend down. So if I would have just sold it here, once it found resistance at this pivot point, and when it trended down, I would have done pretty good. That's quite a bit of money. This right here is $2,000 in 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 20. In 30 minutes, this is $2,000. So just by recognizing that it trended up to the pivot point and did not close above the pivot point, found resistance, recognizes inside bearish, and it trended down. So that's how I use pivot points. Let me point out another one for you. Let's see, stochastics. At stochastics, apply and okay. This is how I use the stochastics. Stochastics down at 20 means that the market is oversold. And when it's oversold, there's a high probability that it's going to trend up. Let me grab my crosshairs. So as you can see, it trended down here. You see how the candles match up with the stochastics at being oversold, and what happened? It trended up. I'll point it out with the arrow. Look right here. It was trending down, got to the 20, which is an oversold area. So stochastics begin to trend up, as well as the candles. So I would buy it. Okay, let's look at another one. It was trending up, trending up, trending up. Stochastics following. Once it gets to 80, overbought. And look what happened. It began to trend down. So these indicators, you'll find that you prefer some over others. It lends knowledge to, the value areas, where the market, the direction, different things. So that's stochastics. Let's look at, this is a very popular one. I don't use it personally, but a lot of people do. Let's see, let me find it. Okay. The VWAP. So many people like to use this, and there's different forms of it. You can use however many number of lines, like you can erase this line, erase that one, erase that one, erase that, and erase that. Typically, they just use this line, and how they use it is, if you can look, see it's green and then it's red. When the candles are trending up and it crosses above the VWAP, it's a high probability that it's going to continue to trend up. So oftentimes, once a candle closes above this green, this VWAP line, they buy it all the way up until it shows signs that it's going to retrace and or reverse, which here there's with this indicator showing you that it is overbought, you may want to exit the trade because it did look, in fact, trend back down. Same applies to the downside. Once it closes below this VWAP, it's a high probability that it will continue to trend down. So people sell it. So that's how they trade the VWAP. And we'll look on this side. Once it closes above this green, which is the VWAP, they buy. Okay, and then once this reaches oversold, you may want to exit the trade because there's a high probability that it could trend down, in which in fact it does. And then once it closes below here, or once it gets to this area, oftentimes people sell. So that's the VWAP. All right, let's see. So again, that's just a few of the many, many, many indicators that are listed in here. As you will prefer some over the others. Over time, you will find the ones you like based on, I often say that it's based on your personality as to which ones you choose. So you can go in there, add them to your chart, take them off, and kind of see how they move. Check to see how they move and mirror the movement of the candle. Check to see if it gives you an edge on when the trend is changing up, when the trend is changing up. And then keep in mind, like with the pivot points, once it, like here, the pivot point is trending up, trending up, trending up, trending up. Find resistance at that pivot point, does not close above it. I know at that point that it's going to trend down, or most likely going to trend down. So I use pivot points on my chart. I like to use pivot points. Okay, any questions on those indicators? I'll take 1 or 2 questions on there if there are some. If not, we will keep it moving. No questions? All right, this is definitely the gifted class. So let's move back to the other screen. So that's indicators, and over time you will become more comfortable applying and using the indicators, and then you will settle on 1 or 2. You don't want to have any more than 3 indicators on your chart, because the chart becomes far too crowded and you're trying to read so many indicators. Some of them can be off, telling you something totally the opposite. So try not to use any more than 3 indicators. I like to use, maybe 2. 1 for, the direction of the trend. Oftentimes I use the candles or the moving averages to tell me and show me the direction. And then I use a moving average for the value area, as well as to pinpoint my entry and my exit. Any questions? Any questions? No questions? Okay, so we're moving on to the homework for day 3. For day 3, I would like for you again to study your live chart, study the movement of the candles, try and recognize patterns. I also would like for you to go into, let's share it. As you are studying, go ahead and add an indicator or two to your chart, and look in there and see if there's an indicator that you prefer more than the others. Today, I added the exponential moving average, the 8, the bar timer, the pivot points, which is this one, stochastics down here, help me with direction. And then this is the VWAP, which is very popular among lots of people, which is this line that they use to signal direction and trend. Once the candles begin to close above this line, a trend above this line, they buy. And once it trends below this line, they sell. So that's how they use the VWAP. And as you can see, as I was sharing with you, like the 6-ish, 7-ish time frame, there isn't a whole lot of movement in the market, as you can see, but closer to 8 p.m., it begins to trend closer to, more similar to it does during the day. So there we go. That's a chart and technical analysis, day 1. See, change the screen again. So your homework, just continue to, study your charts, watch your live charts. The more, the better. Add a couple indicators on there to see how the indicators are trailing the candles. And again, come back tomorrow prepared to share your discovery. If there aren't any questions, then have an amazing evening, and we'll meet same time, same place tomorrow for day 4. Let me know if you have any questions as you are. Oh, you have a question? Okay.
I do. So I'll be on a flight tomorrow during the class. So are there recordings in the group? I didn't see them, but if there are, I missed it.
Yes, they are all compiled onto the one document. I can tag you on it to make sure that you have access to it. But yes, as soon as the class is over each evening, I upload it to that one document. They're all there.
Great. Okay. Yeah. If you could tag me on it. For some reason, I didn't see it, but yes, great. That was my only question. And when you say like sell and buy, what does that really mean? Like, what does that mean when you say that?
I can show you better than I can tell you. Hang on one second.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to add the chart trader, buy market, sell market, like say for instance, so I know that it is below the VWAP, right? And when I share it that it is below the VWAP, what do most people do?
Sell.
Sell. You see that?
Okay. So, but what are we selling and buying? Like, are these securities? Are they stocks? Or
That's an excellent question. Keep in mind with futures, it's all based on a future date. So you don't actually have to own anything to trade it. That's the amazing thing about trading futures. You don't have to own it. You just press buy and press sell and you're in a trade. You just have to have that amount or whatever product, whatever the margin is, you have to have that amount in the account.
Okay.
You just
Where
have to
can I
wrap
learn
your
more
head-
about futures? Like, because I don't understand this. I don't understand futures. Like,
Go back to the day one video.
day one. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Or go to investopedia.com or
Okay.
go to Ninja Trader, Google futures.
Okay, I got it. I kind of get the idea. Like we're here and we're deciding kind of what it might sell for in the future. I kind of get it, but it's not solid for me yet.
Right. So what you want to do is you're focusing on the charts and the candle patterns and the indicators that you are using. Don't worry about the product itself. Focus on that chart. If you are using
Okay.
if you're using the VWAP, you know that chances are that if it's underneath it, it's going to trend down. And if it's trending above the VWAP, then most likely it's going to trend up. Those are the things that you are focusing on. That's technical analysis. The candle pattern that you selected, know that candle pattern, be able to pick it out as, on a live chart. And then once you see that, and if your candle pattern tells you sell, you sell. Like if I see a hammer, I'm buying.
Can you show me a hammer on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go back.
Because that's the one you trade the most, right? That's the one you like?
Correct. I like to trade hammers and inverted hammers. Hammer has the small body at the top of a long wick below, like something like this, but no wick. So let me find one.
And why is that your favorite?
Because I can see that it rejected, like right here, I know that it rejected this price and chances are it's going to trend up. And the majority of the time it does. Now, like for the inverted hammer, like right here, see it rejected this price right here, and then it creates this small body, and then it trends down. Although this trended sideways first and then down, but this tells me that it's rejecting that price. The same as when this down here, it tells me it's rejecting this price and it pushes up. And then there's a high probability that it's going to go up, and it did. So that's why I trade hammers and inverted hammers, because you can clearly see that it's rejecting a price, either the high price or the low price. If it rejects this low price, it creates this wick.
Right.
Because if you were able to see this live during the day, this created, and then this actually went down and back up. So when it went down and back up, I'm thinking, oh no, they don't want that price. You get it?
It's getting better. I don't quite get everything, but it's getting better for me. Yes.
Okay. Well, it's going to take some time. And here,
Right.
here you see how this is beginning to trend up now. This is the VWAP. Because it found support. You see this double bottom? If anyone selected like a double bottom as their candle pattern to trade, you would buy it when it created this double bottom. Now this is bad, but I'm gonna do it just to show you. You press buy market. But you would have done it down here, not right now. So don't ever do what I just did.
Okay.
when the pattern formed, that's when you would have done it. Now what I did,
And that's like 13104, 13104.
Yes,
point.
Absolutely. When it did not create a lower low. Also, if we were
So
using,
you would have bought it low and then it went up.
Correct.
Okay, I kind of get it. Okay.
Yes. Also, if we were using that swing indicator that I pointed out, that's good for seeing the swing lows and the swing highs. So when it creates this low and did not create a lower low, you can, it helps you to, it points that out for you.
Okay, okay.
It's going to be a matter of, just adding the indicators to your chart and looking at it for, over time, and then you'll be able to choose, which one you prefer to use.
Okay, I got it. Okay, thank you.
You are most welcome. You're welcome. So, and when I say buy and sell, it's not actually buying a stock to hold long term or anything. It's actually pressing buy and pressing
Right.
sell, like in and out of trades. This is a 3-minute chart. So like this morning, like in 25 minutes, I made $18,000 because I know my trade. So when I see it.
Yeah, days, Contessa. Jeez
Exactly.
Louise, that's a lot of money.
It is, and this is what I do every day. I'm telling you, I'm
I
actually
need to
showing
come
you.
to your house and just sit with you.
I'm showing you what I do. This is what
All
I do.
right. I
And then
appreciate you.
Yeah, over the next 2 days, we'll continue. We're going to continue to add to it. Then you will see exactly what I would do.
Okay.
So any
This is
other
exciting.
questions? Yeah. You haven't seen anything yet. Just hold on.
Right? Well, it's exciting already.
Yeah. So any other questions, anyone? So it's just pressing buy, pressing sell. When I say buy, I mean press buy. When I say sell, I mean press sell. I don't mean to actually collect some goods or go into an option chain or go into somewhere and purchase it. Just press buy and press sell. Great question. Anyone else? Let's see if there's any other questions. Thank you. Oh, you are most welcome. You too have a blessed evening. It was great. Thank you. Let's see, go back to, thank you. Okay, today was great. Thank you. God bless you too. If there aren't any other questions, we will call it a night. And again, same time, same place on tomorrow. Have a great evening, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Bye. Yeah,
Good
good night.
night.
Bye-bye.